Thank you. All right, so I invite you to close your eyes and we'll begin by making any adjustments to our body, taking a posture, preparing to meditate. It's very good if the spine and the neck are pointing up toward the ceiling, feet flat on the ground. We like to put our palms on our lap face up, symbolizing that we accept all, the world around us. This is not necessarily a solitary form of meditation. Call this the majestic posture, like we're a sovereign, a queen, or a king, or a pharaoh. And then the next step in the practice after we settle the body is to just notice the everyday breath, observing the flow of air as it moves into the body and back out again. Today we'll be working with the earth element. So we'll be going into an earth element attunement. The earth breath, like all the four elements, earth, water, fire, and air, we have a corresponding breathing pattern for earth, which is simply breathing in and out through the nose. So maybe this is how we normally breathe, but if not, we want to take a further step of consciously breathing in and out through the nose. And then also like to say that breath is life. Central theme to the earth element is life. And so deepening the breath is something we look to do in our practices. So I invite you to put one hand over the belly, really feeling the inhale and the exhale. Allowing the stresses of the day to release. Returning back to how we breathe as young children, which is mostly a belly breath, a soft, deep belly breath, allowing the inhale to fully happen, and then allowing the exhale to happen where the belly recedes back toward the back of the spine. Then the next step in the practice is we tune into the heart, making the heart the center of our meditation. And so if you'd like, you can put the other hand over the heart. And as we inhale and exhale, we just place our attention on the physical heart. And the intention is really to energize the heart. with every inhale and every exhale. We may have a sensation that we're breathing in and out from the heart. After all, it is, very close to the lungs. And the heart is just really, really energized with this energy of the breath, nurtured by every inhale and every exhale. Our theme today is mercy. Mercy. I invite you to take that into our practice today, seeing what arises in the meditation for this theme of mercy. So now we're going to go into the practice of the air element. And so we begin by taking the intention of the exhale, where with the exhale, the energy of the breath seeps down from the heart, down the spine, down the base of the spine, down the legs, and down into the earth. So this is a process where we're rooting into the depths of the earth with the breath. Down all the vast layers of sediment, all the ancient history of the earth. And then on the inhale, we breathe up these very nourishing energies from our planet, from our home, pure life. And it's just like the antidote to all the anxieties and challenges. The earth breath, like all four elemental practices, is a purification practice. And the way that purification happens with earth is we breathe down on the exhale, all that no longer serves us. This actually becomes food for the earth. Do you know, in the same way that our very exhale becomes nourishment for the plants, there's this beautiful symbiotic relationship that we have with our home planet. And so we breathe down, the anxieties, the challenges, Maybe we haven't had the best day today or the best week today, or maybe the best life. So we breathe down the times we've been let down, whatever is weighing us down. We breathe it, the bigger the challenge, the further down we breathe. There's no limitation, really. Deep down to the core of the earth, the heart of the earth, is a wonderful gateway to all the planets, all the celestial bodies, all the stars. There's no limitation to what we breathe in. Then on the inhale, we just get this response of vitality, nourishment, revitalization. All right, so as our first practice begins to draw toward a close, I invite you to tune into how you feel now, compare it to joining. Perhaps we notice a difference in our state, a difference with our heart, how we feel. You can return your breathing back to the everyday breath, feeling our feet on the ground, feeling ourselves held by the chair, or however we're practicing. I like to wiggle my fingers and my toes, so you're certainly invited to do so also. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right, so now we like, thanks, Matt. So again, I invite you to close your eyes. We'll be retracing a lot of our steps from before. So again, we always start with the body, tuning into the body, making any necessary adjustments before we begin to meditate, giving any attention to any areas of the body. Then we'll go back to the earth breathing pattern, the earth breath, which is breathing in through the nose and back out through the nose. Feel like you can put one hand over the belly. And with every inhale and exhale cycle, have an intention to deepen, to allow the soft belly breath to deepen more fully. What I usually find is either the inhale or the exhale doesn't come as easily. And one tip that I have is actually to place the attention on the nose and opening the nostrils of the nose, flexing the muscles of the nose a little bit to open. It's just like a huge stream of air that can come in or out. So it takes it deeper with not much effort. We don't want to strain, still comfortable, but the deepening of the breath is very helpful, especially with the earth element. And then, like before, we can put the other hand over the heart. With this deep breath and the attention on the heart, very often we have a sensation for its circulation, pulsation, the heartbeat. As we do this practice more and more with heart rhythm meditation, that deepens and deepens. It starts with a pulse, but then even the awareness of the circulation develops. We have all this science behind it, the vagus nerve and so forth, but it's very, very healing, very wonderful experience. So this is the basis for our practices, all of our practices, the breath and the heartbeat, breath and the heartbeat. And then, like before, we'll retrace the steps of taking the exhale. And really, this becomes a practice of connecting our heart with the center of the earth. The earth also has an oscillation, it has a heartbeat, so to speak, the Schumann frequency, a very slow, steady heartbeat. And so on the exhale, the energy of the breath seeps down, down all the layers, releasing all that we no longer need. And then on the inhale, we receive the perfect answer. Very, very pure, pure life force energies. This is think of this magnanimous celestial body that we walk upon every day, that we're connecting to. All the ancient history, vast continents, the great oceans, all of the forms of life that have lived here. From the plant life, the simple, small forms of life, the great birds in the sky, and of course, all the different kinds of human beings that have been upon the earth. These are all the fruits of this planet. So this magnanimous being is what we can connect to anytime with this practice. Life is often a struggle, and it's best to call upon help. You can breathe down at any time and at first receive relief for ourselves. After all, we can't really help anyone else if we can't ourselves stand on our own 2 feet. And then there's a furthering. We start to feel more of who we truly are, far more generous, far more at peace and harmony. So let's work now with what we call the width of the heart. So we rooted down into the earth like a tree. So now we're going to work with the broadening of the heart. We call this the width dimension of the heart. We can also use the metaphor that these great branches of a tree that we become grow to the left or the right. And so it's very similar to the other practice where the energy of the breath on the exhale goes to the left and the right. And there's no limitation how broad, how vast that stream of breath goes to the left and the right of the heart. We can put our arms out for a little bit. Exhale out infinitely to the right and the left. And then we inhale. Really, to complete this practice, it's like we're inhaling from infinitely to the left and the right, far beyond all the stars and everything we can imagine. And then that even comes down our legs, down into the earth. then from this infinite point below us, from the earth back up and out to the left and the right. And of course, this is one of these practices. The instructions are not that complex, but it's a lifetime to master some of these practices and truth. But hopefully there's a sense of, with this body, this great body, the earth, and with this widening to the left and the right, there's an ease, there's an easefulness, there's a great comfort, a grace, and this is mercy. For no reason, we don't need to deserve it. It's our divine inheritance. Always in our practices, I like to offer the option to practice for someone else. Perhaps we feel our hearts are very energized. We feel quite at ease, at peace with this practice, and we want to share it with the other, share perhaps mercy or something else entirely. And so with our hand on our heart, we can put on the breath or the heartbeat the name of another. This is one of my favorite ways to meditate. Very often I meditate for another. And it's so, for me, motivating. It's like, oh, I have a great reason to practice today. Sometimes just everyday people, friend I haven't seen in a while, a relative who's having a child. Usually whoever comes first, is the right person. And it doesn't need to be someone pleasant either. So something, is totally optional. Maybe we just feel, gosh, or I just want to take this time for myself. And that is the right answer. So now I'm going to put a piece of music on. And I invite you to continue to meditate to the piece of music. It has kind of an earth theme. And I think it can be a beautiful practice to meditate to music. I hope you enjoy.
Hey, malamai kai au. Hey, malamai kai au. Hey, malama pono I kai au. Hey, hey, malamai.
Thank you. Would anyone like to share anything before we close for tonight?